Each of these plates is 585 calories.
My intent with this is not to ruin your choices or make you feel like you can't have something or shouldn't have something. This is simply to bring awareness. We lack awareness in our caloric intake. When we lack awareness, we are typically gaining weight and or we're frustrated at why we're not losing weight. There's a big discrepancy in our brains just as humans. This isn't your fault, okay? This is just something that happens, but we tend to think that, oh, I'm not eating much. How many times have you heard people say you need to eat more, you need to eat more, or you think that you're not losing weight because you're not eating enough? There's truth to that, but we have to be careful in how we're phrasing that because that doesn't mean eat more calories. It means eat more food. So when we can have food that is low calorie but large volume, that is what we mean by eat more food. If you've heard, well, eat less, move more, right? Although a simple concept, that's just not as simple as what it works. But eat less calories, okay? Not more food. So some foods are very small in volume, but high in calories. So when it comes to fat loss, we want to choose foods that are high in volume, low in calories. These are nutrient-dense foods, where the other way is small volume, large calories. Those are calorically dense foods. So nutrient-dense foods and calorically dense foods usually are not in the same category. However, there are some caveats to that because something like pistachios, cashews, like our nuts are a fat source, meaning they're calorically dense. You're not going to get a whole bunch of it. Peanut butter, right? We're all sad when we realize what a serving of peanut butter looks like. That's very depressing. But when we are eating high volume foods for low calories, we're also staying full. And when we have nutrient density, we're getting in our vitamins, we're usually getting in some fiber, some protein, but we can modify even those foods to make sure that they're high protein, high fiber, which is going to keep us full for even longer. Now, when we see these two plates being the exact same calories, it's kind of a sad story, right? I put this together because we're getting ready to have a gathering with friends. There's going to be wine and alcohol. We're doing a charcuterie flight. So somebody's making a regular charcuterie board, somebody's making a sweet and salty charcuterie, and I'm making a game day charcuterie. But if I just pick off the normal charcuterie board with one glass of wine, we can see how sadly calorically dense this is. Again, this does not mean don't have those things. What this means is be aware of how many calories this is. So for many women that are perimenopause, menopause, depending on your activity level, your fat loss calories are probably somewhere between 1,500 and 1,600. Some women maintain at 1,600, and that is not very many calories. So when we're exceeding that, that means now we are going to be gaining, okay? If I choose the wine, the cheese, the crackers for 585 calories, I want to have room for that. I don't want to go above and beyond my intake by that many calories. But if I'm at 1,600 calories, and this is going to wipe out nearly 600 of those, I need to think about how I want to plan the rest of my day to make sure I still hit my protein, but not exceed my calories. Very important. Maybe I need to start banking calories earlier in the week. So maybe I need to be thinking about this days in advance where, all right, so maybe 2 days ago, I came in under 200 calories. So I came in at 1,400 calories instead of 1,600. Now I have 200 calories to kind of play with over here for the weekend. Maybe then the next day I saved 200 calories. Now, when you're saving calories, you still want to make sure that you're using nutrient-dense foods, still hitting your protein and still hitting your fiber. Now, there's guidelines for that. It's about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you are overweight, think about what a good, healthy goal weight would be. For females, I say you just probably don't need more than 160 grams of protein a day. 160 is very high, but it's not going to hurt you to be above that or whatever on protein. Everybody across the board, probably minimum of 125 grams of protein a day is what I would recommend. But an easy way to figure that out is about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Our fiber should be at least 25 grams a day. Most people are getting around 7. So 25 grams a day, and that is still very low. That should get up to 35 grams a day. That is much harder to hit than your protein. But by the time you have your calories laid out, right? Like this is how many calories you get. By the time you fill your protein and by the time you fill your fiber, you do not have a lot of playroom in those calories. But the playroom that you have, I suggest utilizing that for fun food. Fun food is not bad food. It's not unhealthy food. It is fun food. What is your fun food? Is it Oreos? Is it popcorn? You should have something every day, but that something is very controlled and it's within a certain calorie limit. I usually say nothing above 200 calories because anyway, you're not going to have that much room you're not going to have 600 calories for fun food if you're hitting your protein and you're hitting your fiber. It won't happen. But it is important to make sure to work fun food in every day. I prefer to have my fun food at night. That's when my cravings are highest. But what we do is we take foods that we love and enjoy and find a way to incorporate them in a way that feels amazing. So for example, protein ice cream. I love it. Love, okay? It's basically protein powder and then I use silk almond protein milk. Easy, okay? Low calorie, high protein, dash of salt in there. Simple. I can flavor it up however I want, but it's the add-ins that I do for the ice cream that are my fun food. So I might want Oreos. I'll crunch up Oreos, 200 calories worth or so of Oreos to put over the top. Maybe it is part of a Snickers bar. Maybe it is some cereal. Whatever that is, I get to pick whatever it is that I want. Some Heath toffee bits, whatever that is. And now, not only do I have that fun food, but I have volume and a big dose of sweetness because I have now paired a big dose of protein that is high volume with my fun food, which is high calories but low volume. If I'm only eating my fun food, it's going to be a little bit harder because we see, like when you look at the wine and the cheese and the crackers, the volume is so small, right? And so if I'm going to choose a Snickers bar, the volume is very small and I'm going to be like, oh, this is a little bit, this is only a tiny amount. So my suggestion to you would be to find ways to pair your fun food or incorporate it into your mainstream intake. Is it a yogurt bowl and you put fun things in it? Is it protein ice cream and you put fun things in it? Whatever that looks like. We'll roll out ideas in the future, but be aware of volume and caloric density.